My name is Frank M. Ahearn, and I'm a privacy consultant. I'm author of the New York Times bestseller, How to Disappear. I work with victims of romance scams, issues of privacy, and blackmail. Now, if you're a victim of blackmail, you're freaking out, and there's every reason to be freaking out. The problem with blackmail is you don't know whether you're facing somebody who's looking for a quick hit of money and they just want a couple of $100 and they move on. You don't know if it's an actual organization behind the blackmail, and if that's the case, you do have some problems because they're very aggressive. But most individuals who are victims of blackmail think about preventing exposure. The whole world is going to see my videos, my photos, and that is a concern, no doubt. But the true concern of blackmail, or what you need to think about, is protecting your identity, who you are online and offline. And what I mean by that is blackmailers who hitch up for money. A lot of people or victims will disconnect their phones, change their emails, and they'll try to hide from the blackmailer. But what happens is the blackmailer comes back and come back in 3 months from now. And if your stuff is disconnected, they will then look for you online, look for maybe your wife, your husband, somebody you know, a social connection, and try to contact you through them. Doesn't mean they're necessarily going to expose you, but they'll try to contact. Now, you need to think about online protection when it comes to blackmail. You can't just think about preventing photo exposure or video exposure. The other issue is blackmailers, they trick people into giving them information. So what happens is you meet them on a dating site, a dating app, or some sort of social site, or on an ad. And what happens is they start asking questions. Hey, what's your name? What city do you live in? What do you do for a living? Now, some victims give real information. Some victims give fake information. Now, then they'll say, hey, listen, let's get off this app and jump on either Skype or Google Hangouts, or maybe, let's just text SMS, which means they got your phone number, or let's go WhatsApp, they got your phone number. If they take your phone number and they run it through a database, they might be able to identify you. If they can identify you through a database, they got your name, your address, your spouse's name, your friends, your family, your address history, possibly your work. So when you're dealing with blackmail, don't think solely about video and photo exposure. Think about protecting yourself online, your information, protecting yourself offline. What I do for my clients is I create disinformation. This way, if the blackmailer comes back in 3 months from now and they're looking for you, they're not going to find you. They're not going to find your online connections. They're not going to know how to reach out to your spouse or your work, or whatever hidden connection are online. Now, when I talk about connections online, I'm talking about the stuff that's on page 30 of a search engine, not simply Google, or not simply Facebook where you shut down Twitter or Instagram. That's the easy stuff to find. I'm talking about the stuff that's tucked away and deep. So what can you do for blackmail? The focus is, or the mantra is, protect your identity. That's the first thing you should do. Now, if you can't do it, you need somebody who can do it. Now, whether it be me or some other company, but before you hire someone, find out who they are. Look at the company, see what they do, make sure they're real. Because a lot of companies out there, I may not say a lot, but there are companies out there that are fake. So what happens is blackmailers will blackmail individuals, then they'll try to help them online, but they just charge you huge fees and they take your money, and you have the same problem. Lawyers will want to write a cease and desist letter and send it to a blackmailer. Can you imagine that? You're being blackmailed, like they're going to listen to a cease and desist letter? They're not. So when it comes to online blackmail, slow down, okay? Think. Just don't rush into anything. Take time and figure out what you think is the best strategy for you. And then either deal with the blackmail by some of the tips and suggestions I have on my website or my blog, or contact a professional. But either way, the number one item to protect is your identity. Because if they can find you and contact you, they can blackmail you. So if you need help, drop me a line. My website is blackmail.expert. Once again, I'm Frank M. Ahearn.